Hi, I'm Scott Bunce, and I'm here today with Stephen Lustig. Stephen, how are you?
Doing great, Scott. Good to see you. How's everything going with you?
Oh, it's really going well, and I'm just grateful to be able to talk to one of our Vistage members. And Stephen, we're going to go through some questions, and if you can spend a little time with us, that would be great. So,
Pleasure.
Stephen, describe what you do, what your business does, and how is it unique to the world?
Sure. So I'm Vice President of Global Supply Chain at East West Manufacturing. We're a company that sells and designs and sells our own products, as well as manufacturing and distributing products for our customers in a range of mechanical, electronics, combinations thereof. We do this at our factories in the United States, Mexico, Costa Rica, Montreal, Quebec area, as well as in China, Vietnam, and India overseas. We group customers and we make anything from metal parts for HVAC equipment to full-size in-house bike trainers, camera systems, and other complicated assemblies like that. Our ability to scale up across geographies and across the volume for products, as well as a very strong design team distributed amongst our sites, is probably one of our unique advantages.
Nice. And this keeps you on the road a lot. You're in multiple countries, it feels like, every month.
Yeah, more so before COVID. Fortunately, I do like a certain amount of traveling, but it's really important to establish those relationships, both with the people at the factory who are working in supply chain and related functions that the supply chain teams interact with, and also with the suppliers. So I was just in our Charlotte factory last week, and I always took an opportunity to meet with our supply chain leader and enjoyed a lunch with her and her team there, as well as the other departments that they interact with. And we arranged a number of supplier meetings while I was there so that we can always emphasize the need for good support for them, as well as talk about more corporate initiatives related to inventory management and other projects like that.
Stephen, now you've been in Vistage for how long?
I've been in Vistage for about 6 years now. It's hard to believe, but it's really been a great experience. The group we're in really has helped me go through a number of issues as I took on different responsibilities at the company, transitioning from a vice president of engineering role, mostly focused on new product introduction, moving into a supply chain role, which is something I had done in previous companies, but also taking on logistics functions, responsibility, our engineering and technical offices overseas, and all the the interactions involved with that. So the team's really been very helpful as we work through issues in using the Vistage process that has enabled them to give me some really good suggestions. They've also been able to help me with goals outside of work. How I can be a better board of directors member. I serve on a board of directors now for Atlanta Technology Angels, an angel investing group here. I also serve on the board of a private company called Low Medical in Pennsylvania that sells assistive equipment like wheelchairs and things like that in Latin America. And they've really been able to give me some good suggestions on how I can be a better board member and how I can find other opportunities to help companies like that.
Very nice. Yes, I know it's your goal to expand your role with boards, and it's great to have the group collaborating with you to see what opportunities are out there and exploring what resources can be tapped into to help you achieve your goal. Where do you want to see yourself grow? And tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, I think that the Vistas group really helped me grow with how to better implement change management as we, either as a board member and even more so in my role in supply chain East West Manufacturing, as we grow, as we interact with new acquisitions, we buy companies that are performing well, we buy companies that are not performing as well, and they obtain benefits from being part of a larger company that has negotiated payment terms, that has processes, that has tools, and even that has a network of, say, supply chain managers that people can refer to for questions, helping me work through how to best onboard the companies through the integration process and manage in a better way the change management that's required, the delicate task of how do we help you improve the profitability of your site, the viability of that site, the financial performance there, in a collaborative way is one of the things that the group has helped me with.
Very nice. So, Stephen, do you have a mantra or business philosophy that helps guide you?
I don't know that I really do. I'm very passionate about continuous improvement. So for me, my mantra is really just how do we learn from what we've done? It's okay to make a mistake once, maybe even twice, but it's a shame to lose and miss that opportunity to improve. And once you're not satisfying a customer multiple times for the same thing, once you're wasting money, wasting valuable people's time multiple times, not getting the results that you need or should be getting, and you're not taking those efforts, that's just a missed opportunity. So opportunities for lessons learned, opportunities for continuous improvement, maybe not so much a mantra, but a thought process and something that guides me. Always looking at, yes, how did we do something well, but how can we do something better? What opportunities are there to provide a better customer service, to provide a better inside the company experience for our employees, to be more efficient with our financial resources, with our very valuable and sometimes challenging to find employee resources, and that's really not so much a mantra, but what drives me. Sure.
And because you spend so much time in supply chain management, and that's been in the news an awful lot, what do you see is happening in the world of supply chain management?
So there's a lot of good progress there going on. If we look at even something like freight, getting containers of freight from Asia to the United States, which were costing over $25,000 a container a year and a half ago, that's down in the $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 range now. Parts that were on allocation, meaning that they were either really hard to find or even suppliers weren't even committing dates, the number of parts has decreased. The good news is parts you placed on order a year and a half ago are coming in, which eventually had to happen. But less parts are in that situation. It doesn't mean no parts are in that situation. And so there's still enough parts to cause supply chain challenges, but it's less of an issue. And so we're getting into an improved situation. What I see going in the future is companies are looking more and more at how they diversify their supply chains geographically. Whereas it used to be a lot more focused on, I can get the cheapest parts or products from Asia. Now companies are looking at risk mitigation and how they balance that. Is there another country in Asia they could also be producing in at the same time? Is there some place, in our cases, Mexico or Costa Rica, that they could be producing in? Are there aspects that can be done in the United States? What's that mix? And it's a challenge because it's not all the same cost. The reason people went to China and Asia was for lower cost. And while some of that cost gap has decreased, it's still there. And so companies are looking at that, and companies are varying in their responses to how do I balance reducing the supply chain risk with understanding that if I do that, some portion of the production that I'm having, some portion of the parts I'm buying are going to be a higher cost. What's that trade-off? And that interest level varies by company. But that's going to be a big trend that we're seeing, and we're going to continue to see for the near future in supply chain.
Very good. Well, Stephen, I know you're speaking at conferences and doing webinars. It's great to have you in our group, and I can't thank you enough for sharing your story here today, and look forward to ongoing working together through Vistage.
Thank you, Scott. As always, I will look forward to our next group meeting and our one-on-ones as well.
Very good.